So we'll see what is message encoding. There is message encoding, message transmission, message decoding and interpretation, then feedback and evaluation. So first is message encoding. The internal sapping, sorting and shifting of ideas for clarification and organization is called message formulation. Its purpose is to create a clear and meaningful message. Encoding involves converting an idea into a form that can be transmitted to receivers. The communicator not only translates his or her purpose, like ideas, thoughts, or information, into a message, but also decide on the medium to communicate his or her planned message. The communicator must choose the media, like speech, writing, signaling, or gesture, that the receiver can employ compare well. For instance, an illiterate receiver may fail to understand written message but can understand it well if told orally. Teachers encode their ideas in different ways according to the demands of various curricula. It is the teacher's responsibility to use appropriate symboling forms each subject and reach students to use these forms. नाउ द सेकेंड स्टेज इज मैसेज ट्रांसमिशन, यानी पहले एनकोडिंग में मैसेज आपको मिला और आपने उसे सेव किया, सॉर्टिंग किया, शिफ्ट आइडिया को शिफ्ट किया और आपने देखा कि उस आइडिया को कैसे एक फॉर्म में ट्रांसमिट आप करें। और इसमें आप देखेंगे वो जो आइडियाज, वो थॉट्स और इन्फॉर्मेशन है, आप उसे एक मैसेज में बदलेंगे, उसने क्या कहा उसे समझेंगे और आप उसके बाद फिर प्लान करेंगे कि आप उसका रिप्लाई कैसे दें, स्पीच के माध्यम से, राइटिंग और सिग्नलिंग या फिर कोई गेस्चर देकर। उसके बाद आएगा मैसेज ट्रांसमिशन, जो कि एक चैनल से जुड़ा हुआ है कि इट इज़ अ क्रिटिकल स्टेज इन द कम्युनिकेशन प्रोसेस एंड आंसर्स हाउ ए मैसेज इज डिलीवर्ड. The sender selects an appropriate channel or mode of presentation. A channel is the vehicle or means through which a message or stimulus is carried from the communicator to the receiver. There are various options available as channels such as written, spoken, verbal, non-verbal, mass media, etc. Like, let's take an example. A teacher may use a film or physical demonstration to convey the same idea. Teachers are usually able to use more than one channel in ways that allow for an integrated presentation. तो मैसेज ट्रांसमिशन में आप देखेंगे प्रॉपर चैनल क्या हो सकता है। आप लिख के बोलेंगे, आप मुंह से बोलेंगे, आप वर्बल सिंबल्स देख के बोलेंगे या फिर मास मीडिया का यूज़ कर रहे हैं। उसके बाद आता है मैसेज डिकोडिंग. Message decoding and interpretation. Decoding is the interpretation of message by the receiver. Actually, the receiver looks for meaning in the message that is common to both the receiver and the communicator. The process of decoding by the receiver is not passive but active. Language does not have meaning, it has the potential for meaning, and it is the decoder who is actively engaged in making meanings on the basis of his or her background knowledge and the context of communication. If the receiver processes the background information and is familiar with the form of language used, then it becomes easier for him or her to decode the comprehend the message. If the receiver does not have the ability to listen, read and think, he or she will not be able to receive and decode the messages in the manner the communicator wants him or her. अगर वो सही से सुन नहीं पाता या फिर उसकी एबिलिटी नहीं है, तो जो मैसेज सेंडर ने एनकोड किया था उसको, तो वो उसे ठीक से डिकोड भी नहीं कर पाएगा। फॉर इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन द रिसीवर इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट लिंक इन द कम्युनिकेशन प्रोसेस। तो उसे एक्टिव रोल निभाना चाहिए, पैसिव होगा तो फिर नहीं हो पाएगा कम्युनिकेशन ठीक से। अब देखते हैं कि फॉर्मुलेशन एंड इवैल्यूएशन, feedback and evaluation. Feedback is the response or acknowledgement of the receiver to the communicator's message. The exchange is possible only if the receiver responds. It involves the receiver reciting to the transmitted messages and converting the response to the sender. Most effective communicators encourage feedback and adjust the content and presentation of their messages as per the feedback received. तो जैसे फीडबैक मिलेगा फिर से जो सेंडर है वो क्या करेगा, अपने प्रेजेंटेशन को या कॉन्टेक्स्ट को सही करेगा। लाइक टीचर्स नीड टू बी अवेयर ऑफ द सबटाइल एंड डायरेक्ट ways of students for conveying reactions. Messages received. Skilled teachers can also control feedback so as to avoid unnecessary interference in the ongoing communication process. Even by fulfilling eyelids, raising an eyebrow, making facial expressions, organizing a point, and asking for explanation expresses a lot. Those the messages shaped and reshaped by the communicator and the receiver until the meaning becomes clear. In this way, both the participants in communication interact and constantly exchange roles. In face to face communication, the receiver responds naturally, directly, and immediately. This provides the communicator an opportunities to improve and make his or her communication effective. तो फेस टू फेस कम्युनिकेशन में क्या होता है, डायरेक्ट जो है आपको फीडबैक मिल जाता है, इससे जो सेंडर होता है वो उसको पता चल जाता है कैसे बोलना है और कम्युनिकेशन इफेक्टिव होता है। लेकिन आप किसी को चिट्ठी लिखो तो सालों बाद, महीने बाद दे या ना दे पता नहीं चलता। Therefore, feedback provides an opportunity to evaluate what is right or wrong about a particular communication. It helps to regulate the conversation among two or more individuals and also stimulates and reinforces an idea that is desired to be communicated. An interactive model of communication called and Chan has specific applications for classroom teaching and learning. In most classroom interactions, there are constant role changes, and many times the communication process is reserved, reverse.